Did you know that Sung Jinwoo has an army of 10 million shadows? Yeah, insane, right? From absolute beasts like Biru and Igris to some who, well, don't get as much spotlight. So that's why we'll go over all Jinwoo's shadows in today's video. If you didn't know, Jinwoo's shadows are ranked by different grades, ranging from basic all the way up to Grand Marshal. And these grades, they represent their strength, kind of like how the ranks work for hunters. Alright, so first up, we've got the basic grade. This is the lowest rank in Jinwoo's shadow army, and the shadows here are the weakest of the bunch, comparable to E rank or D rank hunters. But yeah, Jinwoo's shadows are no joke, so he doesn't even have any shadows in this grade. So next up is the normal grade. Now here's where we actually start seeing some shadows. The shadows in this grade serve as the foot soldiers of Jinwoo's army and are about as strong as C rank hunters. And first up, we've got the Knights. These guys are Jinwoo's first ever shadows he arised after becoming the Shadow Monarch during the Job Change Quest dungeon. These Shadow Knights are close-range fighters decked out in heavy armor that's tough to cut through. They also wield all sorts of weapons, from swords to axes to spears, making them versatile on the battlefield. Now, as I mentioned, each of these knights are strong enough to match C-rank hunters, but over time, many of them leveled up and even became elite-grade shadows after going through tons of battles. The other normal grade shadows are the Ice Bears. These guys first showed up during the Red Gate incident where Jinwoo took down a few on his own, and then his knights handled the rest with ease. Despite looking all primal, these bears are actually pretty smart fighters. But yeah, their main strength is of course charging in with brute force. Now, let's continue to the elite grade shadows. These guys are the most common in Jinwoo's shadow army, and they're coming in at about the same strength as B-rank hunters. So yeah, they're not the top tier, but they can definitely get the job done. So first up, we've got the mages. These guys were also from the Job Change Quest dungeon, just like the knights, but unlike the knights, the mages were a rise to elite grade soldiers. The mages are all about using their magic, casting elemental spells, cursing enemies, and even summoning spirits to fight alongside them. You'll typically find them hanging back, supporting Jinwoo and the other shadows from a distance, making sure the team stays strong and protected. Moving on from the mages, we've got the ants. The ants were a race of human-sized mutant ants, and they caused some serious damage to Jeju Island, literally turning it into a wasteland, because, well, there were thousands of them. They were pretty intelligent and had decent strength, but yeah, they didn't stand a chance against Jinwoo. When he showed up to help out the Jeju Island raid party, he and his shadows made quick work of all the ants and turned them into shadows, who just like the knights, were used as foot soldiers on the front lines in battles. Another group of elite grade shadows were the High Orc Shadows. These red-skinned orcs first appeared during the Hunters Guild Gate when they attacked Ki-hoon and his group, and later showed up in Kargalgan's boss room. These orcs are strong enough to go toe-to-toe with A-rank hunters. Like, one of them literally destroyed Ki-hoon's shield with just pure brute strength. Not to mention Kargalgan's 4 generals, who were even stronger. But despite all that, these guys are still in the elite grade. But yeah, Jinwoo absolutely knows how tough they are. For example, when he had to go back to the Demon Castle, he trusted his High Orc shadows to stay behind with Gina and Jinho for protection. Now we've got the Shadow Nagas. These guys first appeared during the Ajin Guild's first A-rank gate raid, and the Nagas are basically humanoid serpents, towering about 2 to 3 times bigger than your average human. They've also got this shiny blue skin, sharp teeth, glowing red eyes, and light blue back fins that make them look absolutely intimidating. They're also armed with polearms like tridents and bidents, and they absolutely know how to handle them in battle. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the Nagas in action all that much after being arised as shadows, but they're definitely very strong. Alright, that was the elite grade shadows, so now let's talk about the knight grade shadows. Or well, the knight grade shadow, as there's actually only one shadow in this category. But first, the shadows in this grade are about as strong as A-rank hunters, and they also get the privilege of being named by Jinwoo himself. But yeah, the only knight grade shadow is Tank. During the Red Gate incident, we saw Igris easily take down the Alpha Ice Bear, with Jinwoo extracting the beast's shadow, and later naming him Tank. And honestly, the name fits perfectly. Like, we saw Tank literally charge through a horde of demons like it was a game of bowling. He's all about that brute force, tearing enemies apart with his teeth and claws. But don't sleep on his intelligence. He's actually not just a big guy with muscle. For example, we saw him team up with Iron to take down one of Kargalgan's generals. And let's not forget, when Tank first joined Jinwoo as a shadow, he also served as a pretty solid mode of transportation.